Let's do it.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast, presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Cleveland fans, quit trying to kick the football when you know Lucy's going to move it. Why would LeBron come back when you've got, the Harden family? You put Mobley and Allen with LeBron, they're just going to get in each other's way. And then the kicker is the coach who said they were down 3-0 in the series. He said, but analytically, we're winning this thing. Do you really think LeBron James is going to sign up for that?
Weekdays from 4 to 6, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket. His Store and More, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus media station. Ohio State football. Training camp report.
And this report is brought to you by Safelite Auto Glass, as well as Bob's Discount Furniture. As Ohio State gets ready to get down to business for the 2026 football season, head coach Ryan Day talks about one of the things that makes Ohio State and the football program so special, and it's the commitment and the consistency from his coaching staff and other staff personnel.
They understand what it means to be at Ohio State. They understand what it means to be a Buckeye, and they poured into our players. And we have great stability within our program. That's because of our coaches, Mick Marotti, Mark Pantoni, Larry Johnson. Years, and so that stability is critical, and that shows their loyalty, how much they love Ohio State, but also the commitment we have to them.
Day says that as he begins his 8th year as head coach at Ohio State and his 10th in Columbus. We'll have more right after this.
Bob's Discount Furniture has the furniture you've waited 250 years for. We've got power reclining sofas as low as $7.99, 5-piece dining sets as low as $3.99, Bobo-Pedic mattresses for as low as $2.99, and of course feature-packed bestsellers like my Playday sectional with pop-up sleeper sofa. So stop in or shop mybobs.com to see where America shops for furniture. Oh my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
We previously heard Ryan Day talking about how the success and consistency of his coaching staff has been a big reason why they've been able to have success. He also took the opportunity of Big Ten Media today to show the respect he has for the Big Ten coaches as a whole, especially when you consider 4 new coaches.
Our coaches within the Big Ten is as strong as I've seen since I've been in the Big Ten. When you sit in the meetings and Tony's in there, he listens. You know, we go in there, we vent, we talk about a lot of things, we complain. It's part of the job with all the change that goes on, and he can't fix everything, but he's listening, and he's going to do what he can when he leaves to get those things addressed. But I can't tell you how much respect I have for there's 17 guys in that room. When you look all the way up and down the entire conference, this is as strong as it's been. And I got a lot of respect for the guys in that room.
And that was reference also to Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti. Buckeyes open the season Labor Day weekend against Ball State. We'll have another report tomorrow. This is Paul Keels on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475. Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging.
Viagra, $2 a pill, $99 minimum order. Call 800-925-5313.
There is no gray.
To Albert Earl here and see if he can help us because we're missing the fourth team to take on the 89 Mac men in the nightcap. And here's the setup. 6 o'clock window, 83 Knights. Okay? Scott Bittinger and the crew. Killed you with that. You didn't know. You weren't ready. You didn't want that like that. Yeah, absolutely. And the 90, Scoot Williams. This one we got going on at 6. So there's no dilly-dally, and we said with the parking,
Well, thought about a few teams, but I think the greatest matchup for that Macumber 1989 team will be a Final Four team from the 80s. The 1984 Scott Bulldogs with Chris Polinitz, Willie Shelton, and Melvin Newbern. Let's get it on.
Black and White Sports, weekdays from 4 to 6 on 100.7 The Ticket.
Black and White Sports is now.
Trust and believe. It's something totally different. And stop with the Eminem, because Eminem's not one of the best either. And y'all can stop that.
Dre says he's the best on the mic.
Dr. Dre is a Fed, and so is Snoop. We covered this. Everybody fool with Dre and Snoop is dead or was locked up. I don't care what Dr. Dre said.
I'm just reporting.
Dr. Dre was wearing women's shoes before it was fashionable to do it as a guy.
Toledo's sports leader, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
I know you're kind of busy just now, but I want to tell you some things I never told you. I know sometimes I act stupid and I say stupid things, but you kept me around, and other people would have said, drop that bum. You give me respect. It's hard for me to say these kind of things because that ain't my way. But if I could just unzip myself and step out and be someone else, I want to be you. You're real hot.
If the papers knew we were talking like this, they'd think we was crazy. Why you?
Because I'm the best and you need somebody to teach you different. You may not understand what I'm talking about now. I can appreciate that, but you will when it's over. Believe me. You will when it's over. You think I don't have any more?
You got nothing more to prove, do you?
Look, man, this is the opportunity of a lifetime.
I got a lot more. Come on. Here we go again.
And we wish to show the American press a small portion of the advances.
What does all this do to enhance performance?
It makes a man a better man. A great athlete, a super athlete. Though most of the world is ignorant. It's showtime! It's showtime! Come on. I wish to educate your country.
In great spirits tonight. He's really putting on a show for this capacity crowd.
Shall we have a demonstration?
Please do.
As you can see, the result's quite obvious. Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Now you're gonna have to go.
Club going up on a Tuesday. Girl, see Tuesday. Club going up on a Tuesday. Girl in the cotton sheet Tuesday. Club going up on a Tuesday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, one and all, welcome into the fastest buck 20 in sports. We call it Black and White Sports. However you may be listening and whatever you may be into, we certainly appreciate you making us a part of your situation. Lovely day on the warmer side as we get into the dusk portion of the day on your way home from work and such, and whatever traveling might be happening. Some second shift activities could be going on. Appreciate you. My name is Andre of the Savages. It's called Black and White Sports. That guy that you just saw pop on the screen is called Josh Burnham, in proud representation of the Burnham clan. What's up, Josh? Good day to you. See it? We're doing it. Hold on. I'm doing it now. I'm going to share. What's up to the Facebook contingent? We hopefully are doing this in a safe zone. But good afternoon, Josh, first and foremost.
And a good afternoon to you, Mr. of the Savages.
Yeah, I'm chilling. We're chilling, Josh. It's a Talk Back Tuesday. Ah, boy. I have a few items. Can I start with, can I get the Kelsey early. Can I get the call? Just play. I mean, you can let the music, let it stay. You can let the beat play. Just
it's your soapbox.
Let me get because it's well, play it and then I can say something. Let me see. Let's play it. Yesterday I told you there was a move. I wasn't happy because I wanted to stay in LA. I want that. And it's not that. It's not up to me. It's not up to me. It's not mine. I don't get to say. But I do like the debut, though. When you come off an injury, you say, listen, I'm a professional, is what really the demonstration ends up being. Miss Kelsey Plum, this is how you open it up. Hey, Phoenix, got you one.
Shot clock at 5. Plum, let's fly, and hits. What a debut for Kelsey Plum.
Indeed it was. And so we appreciate that. All right, what do you think about that, John? There you go.
Nice
Kelsey
way
Plum,
to make an impression.
open it up early.
Nice way to make an impression for the fans on your first game.
Absolutely. All right, so welcome in everybody on the live side. Again, Facebook and such. Of course, you already know we were doing it on the YouTube Situation Savvy Television. Okay, that is relatively worldwide, but what is actually worldwide is you plugging in on the Savvy Television app. So go ahead and do that. Might as well do that now. At some point, we're going to go all the way there. But again, later on, we'll come to it. It is a Talk Back Tuesday. So again, thank you for joining us. Josh gives you permission. You can call it 877-909-1007. If you feel like doing that, but you can leave a text, that's even better. That'll be more of a transient situation that will reach the airwaves a little quicker if you want to do that. Of course, you feel free to comment Facebook at Black White Sports. And, we welcome you. But I welcome that. I'm out. Like I said, I wish Kelsey Plum was still a spark. But she was the spark last night. So now this becomes interesting with Phoenix. This is for those of you coming in. It's probably the only show anywhere that has a WNBA lane in it that you can kind of get it, right off the top. It can happen here. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to probably begin with, NFL. Money moving, Josh. This is what we hear. Bijan Robinson, this is history made. It's the highest paid running back in history has happened today. Congratulations to our man, Bijan. It's not a mustard situation, Robinson.
I like money.
Absolutely. So, salute from Savvy Television and our good friends here at Black and White Sports radio show, not a podcast. Bijan Robinson, everybody, becomes, again, the highest paid running back in history, supplanting Saquon Barkley in that spot. 3 years, Josh, $75 million for guys. They say, now, again, we think the running back value apparently is back, and it's being said this way when you get the $55 million guaranteed this young man is getting, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, it comes full circle. Once upon a time, running backs were key. Once upon a time later, there weren't, and now it's coming full circle.
Well, did you know this? We were able to trace back, in our Savvy Television and SBI investigatives. It's a disappointing discovery, though. Did you know the running back situation plummeted and went to all hell schlit and crap?
I guess Le'Veon Bell kind of found out the hard way when he did his power play with the Steelers and didn't get what he wanted.
Incorrect. Absolutely not what I was going to say. Ezekiel Elliott, 2019. After Jerry allowed Zeke Elliott to steal a ridiculous amount of money, it was at that point in watching the Bummerini display that Zeke gave us all right after he got paid and started perhaps getting his hands on the best THC possible, because it really looked clear every time I saw him after that. Then when you add the island stuff. But yeah, that's where Ezekiel Elliott in 2019 killed the running back market. Sorry, Josh. I mean, I get the Le'Veon Bell, but that wasn't it.
Yeah, I was
It's all right.
close.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We're here. It's together. You know, it's a team thing. 877-909-1007. So we have that happening. And guess what? That's certainly not as relevant in the Atlanta position, but shout out to our ATL people because we know you can't hear us there. And we're not just talking to the Glass City. That's, I think, where people can get our situation confused with, truly local stuff that's going on, even here on the network. That's not us. So Atlanta, it is relevant. But why is it really relevant? In case you want to spin it and go with the idea that this show isn't exactly as local as it needs to be. This is a Jahmyr Gibbs fallout that's happening now because he's next in line, actually the main man in line. And this begs the question today because the market has been set now. We look for Gibbs to eclipse this in the coming days. Are we clear?
It depends if the Fords are willing to commit to this much money.
Fords, you should be committed to spending this kind of money. In this situation, I'm not always big on the super big bag, but again, you can't fault ever any of these cats in these positions. Get your entire bag every time. You never know. You know what I mean? You can't ask fans and people that's not in it to ever understand or try to relate to what's going on with the fiscal considerations with these guys. But nonetheless, when you get in these positions, now we know it's also, again, the events that should unfold here will certainly be conducive to what's going to be going on forth. And again, as we project, these are the things that become very relevant. But at the same time, as Josh is saying, or certainly suggesting, there's a possibility the Fords might not acquiesce here. I get concerned that we would be thinking ridiculous thoughts like that. And we would like to believe this will get done. I don't care if it's for $75.5 million and $51.5 million guaranteed. Josh, are you understanding? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what, if we got to do that, then let's do that.
But I'm hopeful that Sheila Ford Hampton, the owner, is nothing like William Clay Ford, who was a skinflint in terms of player salaries and stuff.
No, I understand, brother. Listen, you're not ridiculous for airing that. This is the thing. So this brings us to the question, back to Josh's permission for you to contact us here. Do it globally, though. The number works worldwide. 877-909-1007. Who's the better value? Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs? Before Jahmyr Gibbs gets paid, and we're trying to say, because we don't know, Josh feels that the Fords will not acquiesce to these numbers that have been made now, commensurate to what we should be thinking here. But whatever it takes, right now, Jahmyr Gibbs is missing snaps and reps. This is what and then you all know what we're talking about with the soft tissue situations that are always somehow relevant when people get to missing the time they should be spending with doing the things that make sure that stuff is not tendonry and not terrorinsky. Because then, once we get to the Monica Terrorinskis, then we don't need it. We need everybody in full motion. You're not involved. 877-909-1007. Who is a better value? Robinson Gibbs. Because I don't understand why the Fords would be dilly-dallying. Now that we got the number, those people paid this boy. Let's get this man out on the field. He's there. He's around. I guess, right? We both had 2 hold-ins, right, Josh? If I'm not mistaken, everybody was on a hold-in. Yeah. So we're there, but we're not there. I'm not going to get out here and not get my money. Please give these people their money so we can get on with things around here, because I do think Detroit is a sneaky leaky. I think we're tripping. It's sneaky leaky with the Lions. I think this. But okay, we'll come back with some more of what we're thinking in a minute. Monty Features joins it. It's Black and White Sports. It's a Talk Back Tuesday. Josh, put the thing back on again. Put on going up. I like it. It's atmospheric on the way out. And I think we did a thing that we should have done long ago. And there it is. It's a Talk Back Tuesday, so we'll ride out on that. Again, 877-909-1007. That is the question at hand right now. Gibbs, Robinson, who is actually the better buy here. And now that we have running back consideration, I thought it'd be fun. So let's see. All right. There's a Talk Back Tuesday. We'll talk about that. Also, too, A.J. Brown. We like it. See, A.J. Brown is fronting, though, man. Now he's tripping. His new image in New England, you got to stop it, bro. And see, this is where, if I was actually New England, I'd be concerned. And I'll tell you why, though, because A.J. Brown is kind of trippy-lippy right here. Oh, and did anybody say anything about Scuba going tonight? That's tonight, Josh. Right away. Guess there's no time to dilly-dally with your brain and getting in your head. Got to go. Okay, we do too. Come back. Black and white. Sit tight.
Black and White Sports with Andre of the Savages on 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
Report of an accident in Sylvania at Secor. Other than that, we're clear. If you're seeing anything we're not, let us know. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now traffic.
When you're hurt in a car, you call KNR.
Looking for Toledo's best spot for food?
Upgrading to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint smart home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe. If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
Popsicle.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
Call now, toll free, 800-558-5635.
Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475.
Prices are cool, even when the weather isn't.
The need for aerospace technicians is on the rise. If you're looking for an exciting technical career that can offer exceptional wages and job security at a fraction of the cost of a 4-year college program, then consider the Federal Aerospace Institute, an FAA-certified aircraft maintenance technician school located at the Eugene F. Krantz Toledo Express Airport. FAI will prepare you for a new and rewarding career path in the aerospace industry. In just 12 short months, you can earn your FAA certification as a licensed aircraft maintenance technician that can open the door to thousands of employment opportunities nationwide, and many companies offering immediate employment, sign-on bonuses, travel opportunities, advancements, and more. Ask us about our newly formed partnership with Owens Community College and Purdue University Global. Day and evening classes are forming now, and class sizes are limited. Finance options are available for students and qualified military veterans. Visit us at federalaerospaceinstitute.com or give us a call to schedule your no-obligation tour. FAI, where futures take off.
Black and White Sports.
I think she choked, and I guess she choked. I don't know what the hell happened. Are you reconsidering her role? I don't know what. You don't. You're fake news. Don't ever talk again. You're fake news. One of the worst in the business. Fortunately, nobody watches you. But
you're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Black and White Sports. It's a Talkback Tuesday. Fastest $1.20. We do it daily, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Appreciate you. My name is Andre of the Savages. Josh Burnham is in here holding the thing together. Adding my man to the frame. Monty Features here in a moment. Hold on, Josh. I got some things, too. I'm getting ready to say some wild stuff that people are not going to be feeling. And part of it is because there's a fan element. They're going to front. But right now, because I cannot get a matchup futures bet here on FanDuel, I'm not going to overstress it. I think the point may be made just in the conference winners and the odds, which actually have certainly what I'm about to say in the frame of not completely lunacy laden. Josh, there I had to find my way out of that. Yeah, it's not lunacy though. But it is going to sound like it and they expect me to say something like this. But I do want to add something to the fray today that I don't think they're going to feel me on. But I think it's real. I'm really thinking it's real. And if I'm the NBA, I'm definitely going down this street. I have to make sure. The referees have gotten a summer memo, and actually we're going to take classes, and they're going to very deliberately work on trying to make sure they're in sync and coordination with being able to alter games appropriately to make sure that what I'm going to say might actually not sound that ridiculous. All right, this is Talkback Tuesday. Welcome in here. Okay, again, 877-909-1007. The question is at hand, who is the better value? Bijan Robinson, the new highest paid running back in NFL history, or the possible next to claim the throne of highest NFL running back in history, because Jahmyr Gibbs is now sitting, waiting, thinking that, okay, with this market value established here by the Falcons, looks like as Josh Burnham was just saying a moment ago, the Fords are on the clock here, and we wait and we hope that this does not linger a lot longer. All right, we're in here. Okay, but all calls, guests brought to you by. Let's move on. Wake up call line is in motion. As we say, new money in the building today because it's NFL conversation. So I like it. It has a football tenor. And I like to ask him things about this stuff. And so here we are. Not necessarily, saying that Monty was a running back, but nonetheless, Monty Features, everybody. DJ Impress to some of you. What's up, sir? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's going on, bro?
Man, it was hot as hell. I know that. I didn't know that it was 90 degrees was going down. So, there's that part. But other than that, hey, I've been having a moderate day. It was a little cluttered, in the morning. You know what I mean? Paperwork and things like this. But nonetheless, we're here and we're in motion. Quick note too on the sidebar, because Monty, I'm going to talk about this. Of course, this money that's moving and the history made Bijan Robinson big, but it's relative to us because this, of course, we certainly expect it to affect what's going to happen with the offensive setup in Detroit, and the key cog, if you will, is on standby or at least at practice and yet to participate. But quick sidebar: Zay Flowers, everyone. Did we get that, Josh? Too. Zay Flowers also payday today, 4-year extension, and he's looking at 140 million. Also making him just for Zay Flowers, it puts him in elite company with respect to the top 5 paid receivers in the National Football League with 108 million guaranteed, Josh. So you like that.
Yeah, he's getting his bag.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got that going on too, man. But paydays as they were. Back to my man Impress here. Thoughts and reactions to that. Here, let me ask you the question because they're not calling me or texting us just yet. 877-909-1007 as we are on the Wake Up Call Live, Monty. Better value, number one, you know what I mean, Robinson or Gibbs. And do you feel like this says that the running back market, if you will, is back? Because that was the narrative here not so long ago. Because we definitely strapped this to Zeke Elliott with his ballerina-ness, and that's what everybody lost the bag on, Zeke. So
it's definitely different for a running back. But if you ask me the best value, I'm going to say Gibbs, just because the Lions have felt like in the last couple of years, they've been a couple injuries away from a championship. They've made some playoff runs, and it seems like every year towards that time they feel like if they can just hold it together for a season, they'll be in serious contention. So that makes him go. They want to keep as much intact as they can, and Gibbs is a very big part of their offense. Gibbs, St. Brown is I would say at least 40-50% of their offense, right? So that makes him the best value. But
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No. But I do think that Bijan has earned that money because where he's brought that franchise to. Because like it wasn't that long ago that Atlanta was an afterthought, and they're starting to make some strides to be competitive in the season. So he's earned that little money.
No, I understand, and certainly that's fair. Here's my thing. Okay, for me, Monty, it becomes this, and all of that is cool, logical, and some of that probably can be justified on paper and so forth. But there's something about the eye test here. As much as Bijan Robinson has a lot of spectacular moments, I feel, and by and large, people kind of pay for that on a certain level. And at the same time, I know I get just as many spectacular moments, if not more, if that's your fancy. But in Gibbs, I still feel like if I got to have a guy walk us, if you will, run us to a championship possibility, I guess maybe does it become a question of more along the lines of who do we think is maybe more durable? Because these styles, there's a power finesse that you could argue with both, but I think we certainly would accept that there is no question that Gibbs is the guy that you probably would categorize as the tougher prospect. And I don't know how healthy that's going to be or not, but we also know he's a punishment deliverer, and he's also, though, he can be real scampery though and dancery. And I agree with you on the value. That would have been me. I don't even feel like it's a question, but I just think people get it crossed up. To me, it's more like, what is your brand of ball, and what is it that you like to expect from a guy in that position? And for me, I'm going to always go with what Gibbs is going to give us. And when he's out, it's deeper than just, I would say more than 40-50%. I feel like the whole thing is structured around the potential of your defense not being sure exactly how he's going to hurt you this play. And you should expect him on every play. But like you said, then you got 14 and we can go on and do and so forth.
Right.
But that's just me on it. And I don't not love Bijan Robinson. I just don't necessarily love it like some people love it.
And I'll say this too: the team makeup makes him even more of a value. The things that they have around him that kind of makes him so dangerous, because you can only put so many people in a box when you have a St. Brown or But I can't think of the other receiver name. But
James, is it Williams? James Williams.
Right. So you can
and,
only put so many people in the box. Also, Gibbs can also hurt you in the passing game as well. So, you know, the team makeup makes him a better value. And again, like you said, when he's out, it throws the whole feng shui off. So
yeah, they're not doing it. It's not that the Lions can't compete, and that speaks to, you know, the overall situation and the roster itself. But without him, you know, this is what I'm saying. That's why the Force, what Josh was saying, we can't have this nonsense and let this go on here and somehow get off to a start where, because of his delay, whatever it is, because not, like I said, it's early. You'll accept it these first few days, but at this point, nah, it's revving up, because even to the extent that we're going to play the Hall of Fame game this weekend,
right?
You see what I'm saying? So when you start to put that into into perspective with regard to the camp in its entirety and all of that, I never like it. I never like this stuff when you don't have all your people in play. Again, Monty, and I was there. That you didn't have to be a great football player in my limited experience on an organized and contact level, but I saw and was in the trenches enough to realize what's happening in the locker room frame and what's going on with the playbook and what we're doing mentally. And man, there was not one day of that could have been missed. And this is just, we talking about Division III. I'm defying scholars with you right now. I'm not with the NBA thing. I mean, NFL situation. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't imagine what that's like. Now, we'll grant you Gibbs is a veteran and these boys and their systems and all this other stuff. But Monty, could you please, real quick before we hit the break, perhaps give some sort of inclusive idea of what it means to be in sync with your comrades, especially in this endeavor, more than after all the other sports?
One, game speed, practice speed, and all that is important. You need every bit of those reps for nuances, because every year the roster changes a little bit. So you might have a blocker who blocked this way, and now you know this other blocker is a better blocker this way. You know, you need to be able to read all of those on in full speed or practice mode. All of that stuff is so important, and building chemistry and just being there and watching from the sideline is one thing, but actually taking those reps means everything in this situation. It does.
Josh, I don't think the Force will let us down. That's what I'm telling you.
It's like history repeats itself. I mean, Billy Sims went through it with William Clay, and Barry Sanders had a few contract battles with the same guys. And
I hear you, brother. I'm just saying, I think it's a new day. I think in the spirit of everything that has been, and the fact that the Lions are still official, and even more so because the people act like they want to talk like the Lions, like it's some kind of clown show moving forward. I think there's something to that, and I feel like that chip on the shoulder that they were having difficulty playing from the top is gone now. We back to the whole, is it the goofy Lions? And I think people going to get bit. And I think the Force will answer you, Josh Burnham, and you're going to hear in the next several hours something about Jahmyr Gibbs is cashing out.
Yeah, Sheila, prove me wrong if you're listening.
Absolutely. They could be, Josh. You know it's worldwide. Download the Savvy Television app today, all right? Steve T, when we come back, he joins the conversation. It's a Talk Back Tuesday. We love it, all right? It's black and white.
There is no tomorrow.
Stay close. Andre of the Savages is just warming up. 100.7 The Ticket. ESPN 100.7 right now, traffic.
Things a bit slower than usual for this time of your afternoon commute. 475 westbound between Talmadge and 23. If you're seeing anything else, we're not. Let us know. That's your Cumulus Toledo right now traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Upgrading to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint Smart Home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe. If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging.
Viagra, $2 a pill, $99 minimum order. Call 800-925-5313.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
Call now, toll free, 800-558-5635.
You got Ohio State.
Creative Pizzas, visit Pizza Cat now with 2 locations in Toledo, one on Monroe Street and one on McCord. You can build your pizza as weird as you want it. To place an order and earn perks towards future orders, go to pizzacat.com. Pizza Cat, keep pizza weird.
No cats have ever been harmed in the making of this pizza.
La Pointe Recycling. We pay way more than anyone in town for scrap metal. Located on Crissy in Holland.
Got an opinion? Call now 877-909-1007. Black and White Sports on 100.7 The Ticket.
As we roll back through here, so Talk Back Tuesday, 100.7, that's ESPN here in the Glass City. It's The Ticket. It's Black and White Sports. I am Andre of the Savages. My good man, Josh Burnham, in here alongside, as always, as we come to you live from the Cumulus Media Campus on the south landscape of the community. As we move forward, our man Monty Features is here with us, DJ Impress. You could call him. All right, he's the edge rusher. But now it's time for the real sports guy to get in on the act as well, like he does on these Tuesdays. He is none other than one one and only Mr. Steve Taylor. Steve T, what's up, sir? Good afternoon. Oh, hold on, Josh. Is he muted?
He's
Steve.
muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
Unmute Steve. Hold on. Steve, you unmuted. Did you unmute it, Josh? I unmuted. I'll do. Steve, what's up, sir? Josh,
gentlemen, how's everyone today?
Oh man.
Yeah.
A little better every day, sir. You know, it's just moderate.
Yeah.
It's moderate, and you know, it's hot as hell. Still, it is about 90 degrees outside in the evening. That's always heavy, but you know, we chill. You know, the air conditioning in here. There have been days, Josh and I have been in here, and I was saying to myself, I know the air is not on in here. And there's no windows.
I know.
What I'm saying? You know,
that is a very confined space if you've never been in there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they get on you. Then the only problem with all of this is because you're saying to yourself, people ride and they think, well, open the damn door, perhaps. No, you're not here because in these radio things and the whole studio thing, they would prefer. Management would prefer you kept the doors closed when you're on the air. And it's a sound thing too, Steve. You guys know, Steve. You boys know what it is, man. Studio guys, but nonetheless, so yeah, it's been times it's hot as hell. If you look back at some of the videos, I'm extra shiny. You know, you have to be this light and be shiny. Yeah, your skin on there was like it sounded like he started to glisten. What's wrong? Yeah, it's hot in this. But today the air, we chilling. You know, it's today.
Yeah.
We got the magazine fresh. We going on. Shouts out to my man Anthony Butler as we get going. All right, but Steve, you in here, man. A few things to tackle. Monty's back. I definitely got to get your take, actually, on a couple of things, brother, that are relative right now and even like moving forward. But a couple of things that may have gotten past us. But what you got, Josh, on the ring the bell? We got the ring the bell today?
No,
nothing.
None of the baseball teams played last night.
Okay, just
from
checking.
our local perspective.
All right, there you go. But shouts out nonetheless to Anthony Butler. He is the master barber and stylist. Ladies, don't forget that. 419-407-0880. And I know he's in the shop today, and he likes to keep us on tune because he has us on television because he is streaming the app. All right, like you should be 24 hours a day. It's the Savvy Television Network. You get that going on in your Roku situation, smart TVs, Apple TV, Fire TV, and such, and also all iOS and Android devices, respectively. Okay, so back to the fellas then on this Talk Back Tuesday. That gives us more room, man. We can dance around with some of this material. Real quick, Steve, your reaction then to the payment and the history made, our man Bijan Robinson, and just maybe your take on that, because I have a question for you as it pertains to now, you know, obviously here locally, here's Jahmyr Gibbs waiting for hopefully a phone call or some notification that, you have certainly become a very wealthy young man at, at the position that you find yourself in as a result of this. But Bijan Robinson, Steve, 3-year deal, $75 million, 51 guaranteed, highest paid running back in NFL history.
Yeah. That was it. That's what Jahmyr was waiting on, man, because now the plateau has been set for his value. So you're right when you're speculating. You should be hearing shortly from the Fords on a deal coming for Gibbs, because that's definitely going to happen, and it's going to be around that $21-22 million a year ballpark. That's what you can kind of expect, and that's what they're going to base that off of. You know, he may not get $75 million, but I'm talking about per year. That's kind of looking at, and that's the gauge that we're looking at.
Let me ask you this before I come back to you, and Monty and I were talking about this, and this is my question even to the people today. You guys can still hit us up, right? Josh is giving you permission. You should take advantage of this.
The text machine is open.
Yes, 877-909-1007. Steve T, who is the better value? Because some might argue, well, based on what you're saying, I should not expect Gibbs to have any problem with the offer, say if it's not north, and I was even saying if it was just north a hair, 50, he's getting $51 million guaranteed, but the $75 million, you're looking at 22 and a quarter annual, and even if they notched it, if it was 22.30, you know what I mean, in terms of Gibbs, let's dance with that zone, as you say, so that makes it sort of a consideration where I can ask you which one is the better value for what you're really getting ready to pay for here. In either case, I might argue that it's Gibbs. What say you?
Like if you're Jahmyr Gibbs, all you want to do is really get in the ballpark. I really wouldn't advise, if I was advising him, not to really advise him to seek anything more. Just put me in that ballpark, even if he comes in just under what Bijan Robinson got. That would be fine because of the many weapons that goes along with what the Lions bring to task, because it's just not him. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's the tight end. It's the other guy on the other side that takes the top off of defenses, So he has to keep that in mind if he's trying to continue to play at this level. Again, he's going to get more touches because the Thunder from the Thunder and Lightning is now gone. So now you're developing another relationship with Isaiah Pacheco, who's starting to come in. So you're the guy that they're depending on. But, just get me in the ballpark, man. I'm not going to be greedy because, man, it's a lot of mouths to feed around here, man, if you're a Detroit Lion.
Yeah, man. I think they, like I said, I think we're sleeping on the Lions. I think it's kind of trippy that the conversation is so quick to revert back to sort of, it's a clowning. I don't know if it's a complete clown status, but that it's a little snickery in the conversations when you hear them out here. Talking to Steve T, you just heard me a moment ago. Monty Features in here. And let me get you back in it, Monty. Let's jump over here real quick because I feel like, and hopefully, Monty, you get this, Steve, and I'm not reaching here, man. But see, and I really want to root for AJ Brown because I feel like, man, he may be a solid cat, but I'm not sure what's up here. Only because of the display in Philly, how you went about it. Now, if somebody's going to argue you were correct in getting your way, I'm never going to put the extra onus and blame with regard to anything that was confusing or contentious in the lap of my man Hurts. I'm not doing that with a lot of people, especially where Brown is concerned, and because there was a relationship that went back, Monty, and again, that's why I wanted to put that extra umbrella on this thing, because they did have it. They both copped to that, and the way you demonstrated your disdain, your frustration, disappointment, whatever it was. And here you remind me of a person who now has gotten a new relationship. It's the new surroundings. This is we on our best behavior play because we're dealing in that zone of, you meet people, everybody. You always get their representative for the early frame of the interactions. And I see this, and so I add this today with today's display. I'm not mad at it because this is what we need. Now, if you're going to tell me, okay, veteran guy, new to the team, I want to set a tone. I want to let my young guys know what this is about, even in training camp, and perhaps what the mentality is. Cool, when A.J. Brown, in case you and Steve didn't know, dislocated the thumb today during practice and proceeded to go ahead and snap the boy back in. Let's tape up and let's get back out here and caught a couple more touchdowns. So on the surface, when you say that, okay, cool. So what exactly is the issue? Well, because why wouldn't that have been the professional demonstration that was always there, even while you were salty? We're not sitting on sides reading books and stuff when we're not liking it. So we're coming in and we want variable in these boys to believe this is what it's going to be. But yes, you got to do that here. But it's a slight hint of I'm not liking the inconsistent early indicator Monty Features, and I could be reaching, but I just don't dig the whole frame.
You're exactly on point. That's the new relationship. That's the I'm taking out the garbage until 2 months in. It's like, man, look, the garbage, he gonna be here next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, with AJ Brown, it's a character thing. He showed you his character. You find out somebody's character not in good times, but when times are not so good.
Right.
When times are not so good, the inner you starts to talk to yourself, and then if your character is lacking, then you start speaking what your inner you is saying, right? There is going to be, it'll be interesting to see how long he can keep up the honeymoon. Hopefully, look, he's a young man, and hopefully this, maybe this move has shifted his train of thought, and maybe this who he is. I'm just not convinced of it yet. He's going to have to prove to me in good and bad times that he's the pop my thumb back in and let's keep rolling. He's going to have to prove that to me over time.
Go ahead, Steve. Your thoughts on that? Just AJ Brown is kind of what I'm saying.
Man, I think AJ Brown the whole time in Philly was guarding against saying anything negative about Jalen Hurts, because see, now once everything happens, things start to come out, and the story that has come out, and when I look at this situation, was Jalen Hurts' reluctance to want to throw the ball over the middle. Well, that's where A.J. Brown does his best work. And J.J. Brown is tired of running those for the love of the game routes on the outside when I need to be inside doing what I do best. And that's what he's saying when he's sitting there reading books and everything, saying, look, guys, use me like I'm supposed to be used. I get it. I totally get it. And so does his coach. He gets it because he understands it. And this is what I think we'll see. I don't think we're going to have any problem out of Mr. Brown at playing for the Patriots and playing for said coach. I think we're going to have he's going to have a stellar year, but they're going to play to his strengths. And that's playing the ball, catching the ball across the middle. That's what he does best.
Hey, Steve, my only kickback is the way that you said that, and not you, but that's a selfish mentality. You know, what's better for the team, and they sacrifice team success trying to make him happy. And that's my pushback on that.
But Monty, they won the Super Bowl. I don't understand what the problem is.
But
they won the Super Bowl.
But when they won the Super Bowl, it was giving the ball to 26 and then feeding off of that. When they got away from that, that's when he became unhappy, because if you give the ball to 26, it brings people up in the box and then you can take the lid off. He wants you to take the lid off and then use 26 as back bait. And and when they got away from that, that's when his true self came out.
Right. But you remember, he was reading books in the year they won the Super Bowl.
I don't know, Steve. I don't know. We're gonna check that. We're gonna look and see the book reading, because I just recall the book reading when we coming off the mountain. Once we coming down off the mountain too, we definitely book reading and so on and so forth. And even still, okay. And that, like I said, it's not completely, again, the book reading that we're going to stab out on. But at the end of the day, it's still the conduct unbecoming of the entire presentation as a leader guy. That's all I'm saying with that. I mean, now what you were saying, Steve, what you were kind of getting at and hinting at, and what can be and is oftentimes, true to a large extent, is once that championship is won, then we always say, hey, apologies are off. But until what Monty was saying, when we came back, though, we ended up putting apologies back on, and then the results didn't come back. And I said everybody got to get it back to back, but we certainly didn't get in position like that our talent was commensurate to. We didn't achieve that, and it was only because of romper room antics when we looked at it. It was not physical. It was not because we was missing a gang of people on our way back to the title and the quest. It was nonsense, and it was books, and it was all this theater, and that's what we're saying. So we're going to say, cool, A.J. Brown, we got it. And again, today is good. All right, you did that, but stay doing that. When it's in December, and we out here in Buffalo, and it's called your hand is already froze, and you can't feel it. I want you to be gloveless and out here still doing these third downs that Steve is referencing. I want you moving these Michael Irvin chains in that style, bro. If that's the case, then hey, man, we quiet as mouse. we on Minnie Mouse at that point when it's that. Yes, so there but until then, nah, bro. I like I said, I get nervous when I see that and you putting on this way. But okay, there you go. All right, fellas, strong hour, man. First one. We got a second one, Monty. I know you're gonna shoot out.
Yes, sir.
Let me say this too before you go. Anybody, this is what we're gonna do. Steven, you can come back, and Steve, you can curse me out about it later. Hey, man, I think, man, something's up here. The more I hear it, and I kind of listen to NBA Today too a lot of times before I get in here, before we get rolling and all that. And just where I collect, you guys know that, and information is feeding all the time. The commentary that's going on with Philly as far as NBA, ladies and gentlemen, Philadelphia 76ers, we were just talking about the Eagles and some of that. And because I believe, let me say this, offer this as a side note in advance, because I think the Eagles are going to take a large portion of the attention. And I know LeBron is going to, soak up a lot of the air and all of that and all the other star power that goes with the team. But I think we're making a mistake with Philly, man. Anybody who thinks that these guys, and I think people miss this a lot in some of these situations, the actual mindset of people. Monty Feature, you a competitor. Steve T, I didn't even been out here with you. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? Even when we was out there playing around, messing around at the doggone BCS Fireman game, we still was too angry. Everybody was too serious out there. So I know what you do, Steve. So at the end of the day, when you start talking about these guys on this level and the fact that they know that the people cannot wait to go to the laugh, stockery, and all of this, I feel like LeBron James smart enough to really gather these guys. Y'all talking about the chemistry, and I'm talking about the time spent in an off season that precedes the training camp and getting with Coach Nurse. And I think you have some of that going on. Now, we may not hear it, and we might not get any inclination to it. But I think you all are making a mistake. And I'm telling you right now, please do not rule out a future bet. Go look it up, see what the number is you can get on it. But I'll go to the break on this. Monty Features, I'm going to holler at you tomorrow. Steve T, we're going to come back in hour 2. But Philly, Los Angeles would be quite a dramatic final. Don't you all think? Imagine it for your minds, because you can't. But sit tight. I'll talk more in the ridiculous at 5:05. Sit tight. Hour number 2 on the way. Talk back Tuesday.
His store and more, the Man Superstore Studios. This is 100.7 WQQO HD2 Sylvania, Toledo, a Cumulus media station.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
Call now, toll free, 800-558-5635.
Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Upgrading to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint Smart Home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497. Catastrophe? If you want money, been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe? If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
Fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in
second opinion, especially when it comes to your car. At Hudson's Automotive, they want your business, not your life savings. So bring your car and your estimate over to Hudson's. They'll let you know what needs to be done now and what can wait till later. Hudson'sAutomotive.com.
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Cleveland fans, quit trying to kick the football when you know Lucy's going to move it. Why would LeBron come back when you've got the Harden family? You put Mobley and Allen with LeBron, they're just going to get in each other's way. And then the kicker is the coach who said they were down 3-0 in the series. He said, but analytically, we're winning this thing. Do you really think LeBron James is going to sign up for that?
Weekdays from 4 to 6, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
As we continue on this Talk Back Tuesday, there's always a public service offering, and it's important because we know activities in your home, for instance, are very important, especially for those of you who work from home or have a few offspring, quite possibly, in your home, and they are gaming enthusiasts, or maybe there's just an overall running of devices to the tune of multiples, and all of this requires clean stream Wi-Fi efficiency. Well, I'm here with an offer that will provide you exactly that. Oh yes, Rocket Internet is offering 600 megabits per second for only $9.99 per month, people. I said that correctly. Or 1 gig for $19.99 per month. Because you see, the biggest name isn't always the best deal, exemplified here. Both of these plans include Wi-Fi equipment, unlimited data, no contract, and a 3-year price guarantee. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 5673-ROCKET to check availability and sign up. Rocket Internet is a prepaid internet service. Professional installation is required and a one-time activation fee applies. Offer subject to change or may be canceled without notice. Visit GetRocketInternet.com or call 5673-ROCKET for full details. All right, as we come back up here, quick intermission at halftime, as you know, so let's get back on what we intended to do and let's stay on schedule here. Black and White Sports, we continue. Thank you guys for joining us live stream and live on air radio side. Take a pause real quick, people. 100.7 FM ESPN in Toledo. Let me speak to the globe on this side, right? To our Facebook contingent. We are leaving you right now, and we encourage you to join us inside the Savvy Television Network app. You can download that today. I certainly have made that clear, all right? All iOS, Android devices respectively, and of course, smart TV devices and so on, and all streaming connectivity available in the free world. You can do that. Search Savvy TV. Of course, you can join us too on YouTube at Savvy Television, but we have to bid you adieu on Facebook for today. We will come back tomorrow at the same time, give you the first hour how we do that. But for now, we will slide to the side and come back and continue with hour number 2. Steve T joins us. All right, Sandman coming through on the back nine of that. It's a Talk Back Tuesday. We got a lot of more, all right? And Scuba debuts tonight and so much to do. And we got to make some money. It's bets to get, so you better get in there and don't miss that, all right? But we out of here on Facebook. We'll see you tomorrow on Facebook and continuing live now on the devices available worldwide.
Welcome back to Black and White Sports with Sav Sinclair.
Good afternoon. My name is Montgomery Blair Sibley. I'm the attorney for Sinclair. First, the National Press Club rents space. They do not condone or endorse the views of the people who rent the space. And as a result, he's allowed to get up and say what he wants to say. Mr. Sinclair is going to make a brief statement. You will be provided copies of that statement once he's done. And after that statement, he will entertain any reasonable questions and try to answer them. The procedure for doing that will be this microphone, because we're being recorded and we want to make sure your questions are recorded so that we get a full question and answer for the video that's being made today. That said, Mr. Sinclair?
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
Hour number 2 Fastest buck 20 in sports. We call it Black and White Sports. However you may be listening, whatever you may be into, we certainly appreciate you joining us for the second half frame. 877-909-1007 is how you get in on it. Josh is giving you permission. You can call us or text it. We're trying to find out today, too, by the way, if you're just joining us, where's the better value? If you guys were not aware, I'm sure you are. The Atlanta Falcons make Bijan Robinson the highest paid running back in NFL history today. $75 million deal, 3 years, respectively, and, of course, $51 million guaranteed. Talked about that, just over $22 million annual. And now here is Jahmyr Gibbs waiting in the wings. Fours, you are on the clock. Detroit Lions need this man and his services on deck in training camp. Coach Campbell would certainly appreciate it if we could get along with that. And we will try to get along with what we have to do around here, hour number 2, with our man, the real sports guy is here. He is none other than the one and only Mr. Steve Taylor. Shout out to Monty Features joining us in hour number 1. That was a strong hour, Steve. A few things, man, we threw in there, but I hit you guys with a wild card on the way out. Steve, I'm just saying it's a futures bet the people should look at. Is completely, I know, out of the people's framework. I get it. But I just think the Sixers are going to be a lot better than people are actually imagining. And I think they should be careful in expecting, the typical clown show that is stacking the deck and that it has been historically. I don't know. I think LeBron might have some people a little salty. You know what I mean? In this next one, because I think Jaylen Brown shocks you. I think Joel Embiid shocks you in terms of the commitment that you might see. Maxey, and again, and I do think they all sort of pour into the development of young Edgecombe, definitely to the surprise of the entire league and the fan base and everyone included, Steve. And I feel like all of this will be calculated. I know I'm saying a lot. You can go ahead, dissect it, and tear it up. I just think it's more to the karma than meets the eye here, and people should buckle up.
One thing I will say is about the NBA's Eastern Conference. Everything that you expect to happen never happens in the NBA East. I mean, 2 years ago, it was Indiana. No one saw Indiana in the NBA Finals, and they were close to the kid. The kid gets hurt. So I just think it's going to be too many eyes on Philly for them to get to the NBA Finals. Now, do they make it to possibly the Final Four? I could see that. To me, that would be improvement. That would be the type of legacy builder that Joel Embiid in particular would need, because he's never reached those levels. At least get me to the conference finals. That's, I think, is their ceiling. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at with there. And then when you look at the West, and you mentioned the Lakers, and I'm going to tell you, the Lakers to me look like the Duke Blue Devils, and it's starting to become that. And we're starting to see a lot of the same philosophies that he's learned from Coach K. You're seeing the same things. And pardon me, isn't there a guy named Wemby that's 7'5" that's still in San Antonio? I'm just asking questions.
I know, Steve. Okay. We know about the reality. And I don't necessarily want to fool with the fantasy, but at the same token, and I can't see it yet. And obviously you guys know it's gonna be wishful thinking for me when we start talking about whatever the Lakers are. I'm going to take the whole situation. I'm good with it just because as I always explain to you all, that LeBron being out of it is the happiness and joy for me. I don't necessarily care if these guys are sorry right away, but I don't think my real contention though is they won't be.
They won't.
And I think you're going to see an approach and a style in that approach that will be indicative of, Steve, I don't necessarily know if I'd call it a Duke Blue Devil thing, but I do think you're going to really see an upgrade in the style of ball and even a defensive commitment as they complain about, because everybody in the world can't play defense apparently on every team except for Wemby. Except for Wemby. Nobody else too. When they start talking about these people, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just think they're going to shock some people to whatever extent. I love the excitement of not knowing, but I trust Reeves, and I will deal with Luka because I'm still not the biggest Luka guy, but I get my situation, and this is where we are. So I'm not necessarily poo-pooing. I'm not getting ready to get on the train like that. I got what we got. But I do think people should be cautious, and I think both considerations. That's all I'm saying. I just think they're smarter. In Philly, Steve, I just think they're smarter than to not approach it from the type of collective sort of, again, an agreement, Steve, where I'm saying, because I saw a clip. I didn't bring it. My bad, everybody. So I get a violation today. I should get fined because I didn't bring the Edgecombe clip where he discusses and kind of gives us clues to the idea that, listen, no, we do communicate. We have. That is continuing. I like the energy that's being built. Now, nobody's been on a court or any of this, but when you start talking about some of the nuance that's going to be required, and a lot of times what guys don't do, or dare I say even aren't willing to do, and they expect somehow to get this result when the trenches get most elevated and it gets hot, these seeds are planted back in these months of these Augusts and these Septembers and things. This is when this stuff is going on, if not sooner. So in their case, I pay attention to all of it. And LeBron is much smarter than to allow the people to believe they're going to get the jump on being able to predict what's getting ready to go off in this situation.
I can see. I'll tell you this about the Lakers. I don't think they'll be a play-in team. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be one of the top 6. I give you that. But with Philly, LeBron is such a cerebral individual that he's weighed all of the scenarios and he's foreseen all of the scenarios. And I do agree that the one guy that is going to benefit most out of the presence of Jaylen Brown is VJ Edgecombe. It's just he's similar. He's just gonna understand, man, how to move as a professional.
That exposure is key. Hold on real quick, Steve. Let me get Sandman in here, man. Extend this conversation as we promised you in this second hour of a Talk Back Tuesday here on Black and White Sports. All right, we got the real sports guy. Now let me get my boots on the ground, man, Cleveland style, because I know he can add something to this. Andy Sanzada, everybody, on the phone lines, doing it in the traffic jam like you are right now, 100.7 on this incredibly lovely Tuesday afternoon. It's hot as hell over here in the Glass City. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland, Andy. What's the temperature like?
Yeah, no, it's in the mid-80s. Humidity's up. Hopefully the wife's got the air conditioning on at home.
No doubt. All right, Sam, man, we were in here, man. You might as well just pop in on this. And I'm kind of making I know I'm on an island, and when I said it, it makes people laugh. They're driving, they're snickering. But I was just suggesting, and to a lesser extent, I probably shouldn't have extended it so far to the Lakers. So I don't want you to necessarily receive this and focus as much on them and their possibilities because, again, I call that an enigma. It's going to be fun watching. But with regard to these 76ers, I still think we are underselling LeBron's, again, real cognitive approach to all that involves his legacy, everything he's trying to do. As much as we accuse him of the narrative control, he still realizes I got to get out on stage at some point. He knows we are back in a high-profile situation. All eyes will be on me and the gang, the Michael and the Jackson 5 here, if you will. So I don't think, though, Andy, people are putting this in the appropriate perspective, considering these guys will show us a unified collective right from the beginning. And I mean, from the very first time we can see them, and I don't know how nice it'll look in the preseason, but by the time this thing tips off, I think they're underselling the Sixers and what actually can happen. I think they want to deal with what has happened usually when they put these arsenals together and it's a flop show.
Yeah.
I don't think that is this, sir.
Well, I'm kind of torn because part of me says, whose team is it, right? Because you got 3 guys that want to dominate the ball, and Maxey, in Brown and in LeBron. And you know, we don't really know if Edgecombe's one of those guys yet, but he could be potentially. But then the other part of me knows how smart LeBron James is. It's just a matter to me, Sav, of will he buy into a new role? Because he is no longer the number one option. Can he play that game? Can he go along with that? Because if he can, they're extremely dangerous right away. If he doesn't, and he wants the limelight, he wants the attention, then that's where I think they run into problems. Because I think this is either Jaylen Brown's team or Tyrese Maxey's team. It's not a LeBron James team. He's got to fit in, and he's got to be the facilitator, not the scorer. If he's willing to do that, they're going to be extremely tough to deal with.
Absolutely. Talking to Andy Sanzada here. My man Steve T is here. And I just want to jump in and add to what Andy's saying, because that's been my contention. And this is the LeBron James. And like I said, as long as he's out of L.A., I'm good, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys are going to hear me talk about LeBron moving forward. You're going to think, like, where did Sav flip and go to the LeBron? He joined the LeBron sexuals. No, I'm not necessarily going that far to get in on the campaign, but I appreciate what can happen if he becomes selfless LeBron, what Andy just kind of described. Steve, we've talked about this in other instances where if we get this type of LeBron James where I'm only going to have to give us whatever is needed on any given night. And that's only going to be determined by what I see and what I am seeing and how the games are unfolding, because we will obviously know what guys are cooking, how that's rolling, where momentum is. Guys don't have it tonight. Defensively, now, as you say, Andy, Steve, we talked about this, and I'm sure everybody else is wondering, these commitments with regard to the buy-in and what do we do in a selfless matter? Well, certainly defense is going to fall in this category. Now, how much ammo, how much juice do we have, LeBron James, at this juncture? Because if you can somehow make a statement at 42 with your effort, well, then naturally your younger comrades are going to have to respond to that, and they will get public scrutiny that Nick Nurse will not have to administer, because you'll look crazy if I'm giving the most effort. And again, by doing so, giving us the ability to, as Magic and those boys used to do, yes, they were a hell of an outlet, starting, igniting, fast-breaking team. But you all must understand, as much as you talk about the Showtime Lakers and how good it looked, it was always a defensive anchoring lockdown on you. And they would give you typically the one shot, because rebound, we often dipping off rebounds. If it wasn't an outlet, then, as I said, the Magic Johnson and LeBron James off of a rebound and a push immediately, with guys immediately burning out and hitting those wings. Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, that's a problem if that's running at you and you're in a defensive mismatch that can often happen in transition. And God forbid, Joel Embiid finds, again, ladies and gentlemen, the desire to fill in these trails as 33 used to do back in the 80s, then hell yeah, we got issues, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm looking forward to that. All right, but it's the Black and White Sports on the Talk Back Tuesday. We talking back on it. Steve, anything you want to add to that? Because I want to transition here. I want to move, man. We're going to hit this break and slide out.
That all sounds good, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to 50-50. Half man, half a season. Joel Embiid.
Not mad at that. True indeed. True indeed. Not mad at that at all. And but even with that, I do feel like LeBron's influence there, because the respect is there. And Embiid cannot do it. There's nowhere for you to go. You can't take that anywhere but yourself off the map. And I think these guys, again, they're going to be fairly successful, Steve. That's all it is. We said that, and let's all be fair. We know it. Can everybody stay healthy? And that's all 30 organizations, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We'll just rock and roll with that. Right?
I just hope they're doing that now. Because like you said, the work isn't done in December.
Yes, sir.
It's done now.
Absolutely. All right. We will come back, man. We're going to come back to this thing to let Andy chime in on it. And we're going to talk about Scooble tonight, man. All right. It's a debut. Dodgers don't give you much time to think about it and debate and get, choky low. All right. So it's time to get busy. and we like it. All right, he's on the Hill tonight, so we'll talk about that and the effect that it has and all the rest, right? This is Talk Back Tuesday. We're not done yet. Sandman is here. Steve T. You know we like that combo, man. Sit tight. It's black and white.
When sports need a voice that doesn't play games, it's Andre of the Savages on Black and White Sports, 100.7 The Ticket.
One moment, one crash, one injury, it can take away everything. KNR helps Ohio families through their hardest moments, standing strong when it matters most. When you're hurt in a car, you call KNR.
Hey, it's Denny Schaefer, and let's talk cigars. I got 2 spots.
I'm Lindsay Murphy, owner of Dream Green Landscape and Design. We are a local company in Holland and have been in business for over 20 years. No project is too big or too small. We do it all. Services include weeding, organic weed spray, custom designs, fire pits and places, erosion control, gutter pop-ups, retaining, and garden walls. We are your outdoor living experts. New clients receive 15% off of their first project and labor. Just mention this ad once you receive your free estimate. DreamGreenToledo.com. Dream Green, making your space your favorite place.
Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475.
Here, Marcy, our side.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging.
Viagra, $2 a pill, $99 minimum order. Call 800-925-5313.
I don't know what the hell happened. Are you reconsidering her role? I don't know what. You don't. You're fake news. Don't ever talk again. You're fake news. One of the worst in the business. Fortunately, nobody watches you. But
You're listening to Black and White Sports, where there is no gray.
We can definitely tell you about it night and day. It's Black and White Sports on a Talk Back Tuesday. Respect due. I'll be sure in here, Josh, you going on.
Yep.
Hey,
Always be sure that this is good listening.
Now, see, you got me back here. This is my era right here. So I came of age right here. I was doing stuff. I was doing stuff, doing LBs, hookup. We had atmosphere, background noise. Whoa! Shout out to the early 90s, everybody. It's deep that is now like a prehistoric time of reference in life. Ooh, boy. Yeah, Josh, you clowning with that one.
Yeah.
Summer of 88 right there, boy.
I love that New Jack Swing.
Well, we was getting there. You got to get Teddy Riley and them involved in that. You're going to start New Jack Swing, which was never really, I wasn't on board with that. I didn't really do it. It's the New Jack Swing. It was kind of cool. I mean, I was cool with Guy too, but that was more of it was the slow stuff too. I did, and I definitely, Steve and Andy, I don't know where you was at with this, Andy. I don't know what you was doing in '88, how your situation was going on. You was a little younger, but I didn't really mess with Bobby Brown like that, Steve. I like I said, I understood they was geeking on that, but I wasn't. I didn't feel it. Jenna's mom was on that. That was big. This is all her stuff. That's what he's playing right now. That's what it make me think of. That's how it goes back like that. That's how far it goes back. These are the days.
Just say we wasn't Al B. Shoring in those eras. We were more Bobby Browning. That was more so.
They was My Prerogative was popping. He was with the video with the Gumby game was going down. I didn't do it. See, I didn't like any of that. I didn't necessarily, because I still had a problem with him flipping on New Edition like that. Because you got to remember, I'm from a time where I'm still stained on the Jermaine Jackson fiasco. Randy Jackson should have never got his ass in the group. That should have never happened. That's all because of Jermaine. It opened the door, and Joe felt like formation-wise, we got to fill a spot. Randy Jackson should not have been involved at any time.
Let's get serious.
Yeah, really. You did,
my goodness.
I didn't fall in love with it.
See, Josh, you're not sneaking that one under. I heard that.
He didn't.
I heard that, Josh.
All right. It's a Talk Back Tuesday, man. We deep into the second hour here as we have just crossed the bottom of the hour. Thank you guys for being with us. It's Black and White Sports Daily, 4 to 6 p.m. So it is sort of coming to a close, but we're not quite there. A lot more to do. And, as we do it, I'm always asking you to consider a better situation for you and yours. Steve, let me ask you. It's not that, we're exactly spring chickens or anything. Even you, Andy, you've gotten to the grown man age. And I would imagine you guys could experience perhaps legs feeling stiff, even swollen, tired from a day of sitting. Some people work in situations like that, or maybe your blood flow can be a concern. It happens as the years elevate. This we know. So I was inclined to mention to you two, and of course all of our friends here that might be tuning in with us around the planet, the ellipse. It's one of Josh's favorite items. This is an advanced motorized seated exerciser, people. You might have seen it on other ads and television here or there. It's designed to boost leg circulation. And as I mentioned, loosen those stiff joints, reduce the swelling, completely impact-free, people. It's a continuous power-assisted motion, does the work for you, activating muscles while you perhaps watch TV, read, or work at your desk. Say goodbye to leg cramps and restless nights, everyone. Reclaim your mobility and step toward a better health today. Call now to order your Ellipse, Josh. 800-580-6475. All right, let's move on.
It's just about as good as cycling.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I got to get that going on because I'm sitting there a lot. I'm at my desk a lot. I don't really appreciate it. It just goes along with my routine. I do need to do something about that. All right, fellas, let's do this. Let me share a comment real quick because it actually will take us back. It will sort of segue us, as I was mentioning. I got Andy and Steve in here today. Always exciting when we can get this happening. So I got my man Hightower checking us out on the YouTube today. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you always. You know this. He said Gibbs is a better value. By the way, everybody, we were asking the question today because Bijan Robinson made highest paid running back NFL history today, a $75 million deal, 51 guaranteed, but just south of 22 and a quarter annually. And so we think Jahmyr Gibbs will be hovering somewhere around these numbers if perhaps he doesn't exceed. We don't know what the fours will do, but we certainly expect them to act. And we had the comment, and Hightower was saying here, Gibbs is the better value. Lions do a lot of passing and runs with him. And Robinson with the Falcons does too many disappearing acts. And this is where I was at, Stephen, Andy, what I was kind of saying. Too many disappearing acts, have one good game, and then you won't hear from him for a couple more. And that's real. Thank you for that comment, Brother Hightower. But he's on to something. So, Andy, let me come to you as you hear that. Your initial reactions today, obviously, it was the bigger news of the day. Certainly where the NFL was concerned. You got the running back value market seems to be back, in the foreground. But your thoughts on this, and who do you think is the better value when you talk about guys that are going to get top tier money?
Well, I agree with Hightower. I think Gibbs is a better value just because he can do more for your football team. He's not just a running back. He's a threat out of the backfield catching the football. And you can put him out in the slot at times if you want to as well. Robinson's just, give me the ball and let me run it type of back. Now, they tried to use him in the backfield, coming out of the backfield last year. It wasn't that successful. And, from a running back standpoint, I can see why he got the contract. But the way Atlanta's operating, guys, this is why they hired Matt Ryan. I don't think they know what they're doing down there. And this could be another one of those scenarios where they might have overpaid for a player that hasn't proven himself yet to make sure he doesn't hit the open market. So to me, Gibbs is the higher value. I agree with Hightower about that. And then, Robinson, we'll just have to see if he can be the guy because Atlanta needs all the help they can get on offense.
Absolutely, man. Andy Sansada in there. And I think, Andy, you're right on. And I'm interesting, hearing you say that we don't know if he's proven. And, Steve, I think that's valid with him. That's what Hightower was hinting at. I don't know week to week, and I get that I like to believe that Bijan Robinson is not going to mustard us. But it always has, it's not quite Grey Poupon, no. It's more French's. It keeps ending up being like French's. It's not Grey Poupon.
Guys, the reason why I disagree with that take is because one thing we don't know about Gibbs is if he can even take the lion's share of the carries in a season. We'll find out this year, but we don't know that for sure. And the way that they use him, when on the Bijan Robinson is the start, the finish, they put defense together to stop Bijan Robinson every week because he is the start and the finish to that particular offense. So, Bijan can hurt you in so many different ways. He may not have the electricity that a Jahmyr Gibbs do, but down, the guy averaged 5.2 yards a carry last year. He had 1,400 yards rushing just last year in a down year. He only had 7 touchdowns last year, 14 the year before that. But the guy is the model of today's back. If you want to build a back, Bijan Robinson is what you're going to kind of look at.
All right. Now, I hear you, Steve.
He's going to get a lot more carries this year under Stefanski's offense because Stefanski centers his offense around his running back.
So we're going to find out. So we'll find this out. But, Steve, I'm sorry, big dog. I still beg to differ to a certain extent. And because of the non assuredness I have with regard to his availability and sometimes even some of the performance, man. I don't know. And I might say to you in terms of your entire statement, what exactly is that amounting to in the grand scheme? Is it one of these situations where, yep, high ultra talent, overuse, don't necessarily give enough peripheral activity to be considerate of if you're defenses or oppositions, and Atlanta could be a case of that. Now, Stefanski comes in. We don't know what type of rearrangement and recalibration we will see. We're still not sure who will be at the helm and taking the snaps, but he certainly is, as Andy mentioned, and I think as we all understand, we're going to need him to earn that money. Sometimes I wonder, though, guys, if teams pay you that money out of sympathy because they know they about to beat you in the hell and we're not going to do a damn thing. Maybe it's that in Atlanta. So, but there you go. Everybody seems to be in agreement, though, and even you guys, because nobody chimed in to say anything, 877-909-1007 on who's the better value. And again, as the Lions, get ready to make a statement, which I think they will. I don't know if you exceed the number, Steve, like you were saying. I think that's real, but you got to be hovering right in that neighborhood because I got to be worth what this guy is worth for what we get out of Gibbs and what he does and the problem he presents for sure, because he is pretty reliable. Whether or not he can take all these carries, we didn't miss him a whole lot since we got introduced to him. And I'm saying look at the whole frame. I'm not saying it's been perfect, ladies and gentlemen, because I know somebody might fire on that one. But nonetheless, not mad at that. I think everybody's not crazy, just like us, all right? And we will try to be uncrazy coming back and talk about this situation tonight. What do the guys expect from our man Scuba? Takes the West Coast Hill, first time, okay? So we appreciate that, and we understand where we're at. Tigers, too. Do they get busy tonight in the wake? Talk about that. Let's finish it strong. It's Black and White Sports. It's a Talk Back Tuesday, and you are in the appropriate position for yourself. It's only for you. Sit tight.
Join Andre of the Savages, weekdays 4 to 6 on Black and White Sports, ESPN 100.7 The Ticket.
Looking for your next favorite golf course? Come spend the day at Crooked Creek. Just WeightLossSecret.com.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe. If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. That's why you got to call the number on your screen now. They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-370-5435.
16 months for about
Upgrading to a smart home? Only Vivint offers a fully integrated smart home system. Every device works together seamlessly. Call Vivint now and get free professional installation, $200 off your initial order, and 0% APR financing for up to 60 months. Plus, you can get 24/7 professional monitoring for as little as $1 a day. Upgrade your home to a Vivint smart home. For your free quote, call
800-853-6497. Maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation. Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now.
800-580-6475.
Ending Creek. Whether it's a quick run.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
Call now, toll free, 800-558-5635.
This is Black and White Sports on 100.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Before we roll out of here today, we want to make the appropriate imprint, but thank you to all involved, certainly. On this one, a Talk Back Tuesday, we continue. Monty Features, appreciate you. Our number one. Steve T has been here, the building, the entire situation, so appreciate him as always on these Tuesdays. And then we got Sandman is live on the phone network, logging in, checking in with us. And so we come to this before we get out of here. Scuba, gentlemen. And first, real quick, Steve, before we even get to it, because we didn't get to get your reaction on it in general. I know the guys were vocal about it yesterday. Your thoughts on just the deal itself. Tigers, are they in a better situation? Are you pleased with what the return was? And do you like Scuba being a part of this Dodger machine? Some people not necessarily enthused by that. They might apply that to your boys too. You might feel a little of that with the Rams because it's kind of, I feel it falls in that category to some degree with the cupboard certainly getting more, thick, as they say, even with the Rams. But the Dodgers just kind of keep it moving, man. And your thoughts on the whole situation?
Well, the Dodgers get it. I mean, they understand what they need. As far as Detroit, I don't know what the hell the Tigers. This is why I'm not a Tigers fan, mind you, because, the only way that you would like this particular trade is if you like sardines, because they literally sold them for a sardine sandwich. I mean, total, man, these were retreads from other prospects. They're not even their best prospects. I mean, that's what I don't understand. And then you get rid of Casey Mize for a sausage sandwich. I don't understand what is going on in Detroit, man. I just don't get it. If they were top prospects, maybe, but they're not top prospects, man. These are just, by the way, throw-ins that the Dodgers have accumulated along the way. And I don't blame the Dodgers for doing what every other team could have done. I mean, do you know the team with the highest payroll in Major League Baseball is in last place? I'm talking about the New York Mets. That's what I'm getting at, man. It's not what you do, it's how you do it, man. And the Dodgers kind of show you how to go about baseball business. That's the blueprint right there. And
Andy, hold on, before you respond to that, because I know Andy had a direct contrast. He felt different, but I'm not. You talking about you caught Josh and his reference slipping in there with the LB. No. No, he got you, sir. And I'm not repeating it. You can play it back if you want. But Josh Burnham has been inundated. He has certainly been caught. He is now corrupt. He did it all on his own because he heard you say that. Steve out here. You know what he said, John. We all heard what he said. It was as his sandwich. Yeah. You keep that sandwich, Jack. But Josh got you. And I didn't even have to say nothing. Josh got it, and he caught it too. Sorry about that. But go ahead, Andy. I know you completely vehemently disagree with Steve.
Yeah, because they did get some of the Dodgers' top prospects. They got the number 4. They got the number 5. They got one of their top pitching prospects. They got their best outfielder. So I disagree. I think they got enough back, and I think you're going to see those guys make a difference in Detroit sooner rather than later. He had to be traded. He was not going to re-sign. You can't let a guy like that walk when you have prospects that are out there that you can get in return and turn that into a winning opportunity. So, for what was out there, it sounded like not everybody was willing to give up their top prospects, but the Dodgers have them in droves, and they gave up 3 of their top 7. And so I do disagree from that standpoint because they were some of their best.
Steve, you say what to that, though, and the prospects itself? Andy's saying we got quality guys here. You like it's sardines. Now, somebody got to make which one is it? So I get excited or not?
Man, again, these are prospects that they picked up along the way in other acquisitions. It's nothing that it's not like it was the Dodgers number. No. I totally disagree. I think that the Tigers got hosed in it. Period. End of story. That's what I think. If these guys come in, I hope they prove me wrong, but I doubt it. Because it's Detroit, and we've seen it before.
Man, so here you go. Greatest asset in the moment. Tigers have to move it. We understand the circumstances. Did they do a well enough job in executing in this moment? And certainly the fun of it all, as time is going to tell us. Obviously tonight, Tigers back on the diamond here too. I believe. I think we're on the road tonight.
I do believe. On the road tonight? Let me double check. I believe they were playing the Mariners.
Okay, Seattle in the world. And Seattle to pick tonight. I don't agree with that though. I say roll with Detroit. Give Detroit the run line tonight. All real talk. Give them the run line tonight because you're going to have to. I want to see what it is, man. What's the clubhouse energy? What in the perfect place to try to get this thing in motion. We're on the road, so of course the things that go with that. And just in the nuanced sense, and from that perspective, I like them tonight. We're going to take Detroit and the 1.5, with that thought in mind. And let me come back, fellas, to Scuba then. So, of course, we hear Chi-Town tonight. That's big. Cubs, you don't really have to drum it up. That's pretty electric to step into if you're Scuba. Andy, what are you expecting then tonight? So, in terms of what the Dodgers are getting, is this, again, another one of these supplemental parts that ends up being a perfect puzzle piece to what the expectation is, and the three-peat look begins tonight. Electric is on fire. Chi-Town is up.
Well, this is a good time for Skubal to make his debut because they just got done getting swept by the Red Sox at home in L.A. So things are, momentum right now is not in L.A.'s favor. So Skubal can turn that around real quick. He's got a tough task, though. Chicago, to me, is one of the teams that I think can rival LA in terms of winning the National League and potentially going to the World Series with everything that they did yesterday at the deadline. So I think it's going to be a great matchup tonight. It's on TBS. It's a nationally televised game. I'm definitely going to be tuning in between the Guardians game to see how he does. But Skubal, guys. No matter where he goes, he's going to be good. He's one of the top 5 pitchers in all of baseball. I think the only thing that's going to take a while for him to get used to is his catcher and getting the signals and his sequences right in the at-bats, left-handed, right-handed, that situation. But I don't expect anything less. I bet he goes at least 6 innings tonight.
Steve, what you looking at it on? Is the money? It's a money play. It sounded like if I'm listening to Andy or anything.
The Dodgers are looking for the big picture, man. It's about checks and championships, man, for the Dodgers, and they're looking for another championship, and they're looking ahead. They've had bumps in their pitching staff. Okay, School is the guy that's going to kind of get them through to the next level until those guys come back, man. Mookie hasn't been hitting the ball, man, it is a perfect spot for them because the Dodgers have lost the last 4 games that they played. Well, it's time for, man, that offense to come around. Man, I'm going to say that the Dodgers offense is going to be big time tonight and kind of carry Scooble. Scooble will probably go 6 innings, Andy. You're absolutely right. But, man, it's a good spot for them. And the Cubs, everything that they've done, they're still 5.5 games behind the Brewers, who, man, made adjustments yesterday, man. The Bruins is the team to watch out for in the NL Central.
This will be good tonight, though, people. This is good TV to check out, man. We like it. And again, I think there's a certain element, man. If we can fool with Flaherty on this same run, then we better be out from the 3-1-3. I want the energy. The energy should be strong tonight. But I think there is a good showing. I don't know, fellas, just about from the bettor's perspective, just beware. I'd take Chicago run line on this. I'm not talking about it when I tell you money line. I said another run line. So now you can give me Chicago here. Give me the Cubs run line tonight. And let's see. What was the other? What did I just say? What was the other? Seattle. What were we talking about? Detroit?
Yes,
And Detroit. And I like the Tigers, too.
Yeah.
I like the Tigers, too, tonight. I like everybody to come out of this thing. You know, it won't really necessarily be anything to complain about.
Yeah,
I think on both ends.
And the Mariners also made some deals that they did down too. They got Taylor Ward from the Orioles for 3 players and a box of Cracker Jacks to be named later.
No, stop. The trade deadline approaching soon. We're minutes away, people. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. All right, it'll be wrapped up. All deals in. Looks like, though, we're wrapping up. Don't expect anything sudden. All right, so with that, go ahead, Andy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you see that Buster Olney had ranked the Guardians as the #1 team in the American League after the deadline yesterday?
I'm not. I was going to tell you too. I think we like them tonight too. I like them strong tonight. I love them
I'm excited
tonight.
to see this new lineup because they went out and did something they normally don't do. They got offense, and they got position players that they needed. They got an outfielder. They got a first baseman. Thank God they finally sent Manzardo to AAA. I've been waiting for that the whole season. He's going to stay there. He might even get cut at that point. I don't care what happens. He's garbage. He's been garbage. Last year was a fluke. I think he was holding this offense back. And they did it without having to give up any of their top 20 prospects. That is huge for now and going into the future. So kudos to the Cleveland management. They actually did something right this year.
Not mad at that, man. Appreciate you, man. Sam, man, here all over. Steve T, man, rocking with us as we close it out. Josh Burnham in here holding this thing together. Before we go, since we got a couple minutes, I'm going to give you guys some more plays. Again, if you didn't hear me, I like the Cubs with the run line. Can't necessarily go against the Dodgers on the money line, all things considered, but it's a setup. It's a better thing, people. It's too much energy. Scooble, lights hot, L.A. And again, we in Chi-Town. We up here with the Cubs, the whole thing, Wrigley. We got all this going off. So just beware in a situation like that. In Detroit, also, we like it. I think the energy could be positive. Steve doesn't like it. Andy says it's cool. We'll get a look at the Tigers tonight as well. But a couple minutes, gentlemen, let me jump back into the NCAA frame where the gridiron is concerned because it's almost time. I got a couple Buckeyes here, tried and true with me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like it, and it's never fun talking to these guys because they talk irrational when it comes to Ohio State. But in case you guys hadn't heard or didn't see any of these makeshift coaches polls or what have you, and some of these posts that are going on, we got a hold of one. Thank you. I think it was Sandman who sent it to us. But let's look at this. I don't want to necessarily dance with the 10. We got a couple minutes. We're up against it. But the Buckeyes at the top of the situation, Brother Taylor, Brother Sanzada, the Ducks, the Bulldogs, Georgia in third, the Longhorns, and Hightowers Fighting Irish round out the top 5. Interesting that Signetti and his boys not getting a respect or certainly a perspective look at the repeat prospect as they are a preseason 6. And again, the rest of the field I don't think is worthy of mentioning in this moment. But Steve, let me give you a crack at that and your thoughts on that. Just idealistically here in the preliminary prospects.
I mean, I could see how it makes sense, man. I mean, personally, I hate to see the Buckeyes, man, out #1, but I would see why they would do that. I would see why IU would be at #6. Josh Hoover is an unproven commodity. We've heard a lot about him. Okay, now you have to show me. Miami is the one team that I think is rated a little bit lower than they probably should be, because that's a program that's definitely on the rise. They brought in a lot of 4 or 5-star athletes this here offseason, man. So I would look at them to be more so in the top 5, for my likings. But man, they're not far off of it.
Andy, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm with Steve. It's never a good thing for the Buckeyes to be preseason number 1. It just hasn't bode well for them in the past. They're better when they play the underdog role, the doubter, doubt us, go ahead, we'll prove you wrong. When you put them at number 1, they can't really do that. Obviously, week 2 against Texas is going to be a massive, game in terms of determining the season for both those teams. But look at how many of those teams in the top 25 are from the Big Ten. Enough with the SEC, guys. The SEC is done. It's over with. The Big Ten dominates college football. It has for the last 3 years. It's going to continue to do that as long as Ohio State and Michigan and Oregon continue the way that they've been recruiting. I don't see anything changing. So that's just the one thing that stood out to me, was the number of Big Ten teams throughout the top 25.
All right, fellas, appreciate you, man. There you have it. Way to close it strong, man. Good work today all around. So I appreciate you, gentlemen, each and every time we do it on this Talk Back Tuesday. All right, Steve Taylor in the building. He is the real sports guy. That's Andy Sanzata, our boots on the ground in the 216. And, of course, Monty Features, the edge rusher, did it for you early in the first half. Josh Burnham been here the entire game. That's why we have a win. I appreciate you all for hanging with us. We do this Monday through Friday 4 to 6 p.m. It's called Black and White Sports. And before we go, thank you very much to my good friends at the Bassett Nut Company, formerly Rachel Michaels Gourmet Popcorn. You guys are aware of that. She is now just up the block at 5380 Monroe Street. And please let us remind you about the September grand reopening and ribbon cut. So we'll remind you about that as we get closer. So let's all be prepared to celebrate that. Anthony Butler, thank you. 1248 West Sylvania. He's in motion now through the weekend. Get in there, get your grooming together. He is the master barber and stylist, ladies. And of course, my good friends at the Powers Beauty Supply, 901 Nebraska Avenue. They've been there serving you for a lifetime. So please continue in that effort. Beauty supply needs of any sort, ethnicities, no consideration. Get in there. It's 901 Nebraska. You can find that family. All right. Consignment Home Interiors, where you can change your decor without spending more. They're at 6925 West Central. And you guys on the way out of here are always thinking about, how do I get my low-cost airfares and where can I find them? Well, listen, people, whether it's a quick weekend getaway or a long overdue vacation, we connect you to top destinations for a fraction of the price. Don't let high cost ground your travel plans. Book your next adventure today at Low Cost Air with Black and White Sports, 800-558-5635. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow on a Wednesday. For Josh Burnham, Steve T, Andy Sanzata, and of course, Monty Features, I am Andre of the Savages. Please be kind, be respectful, be nice, never cheat on your wife, and by all means, handle your business, especially on the Talk Back Tuesday. We'll holler on a Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
His store and more, the man super